It's a wonderful day. We've got the college football playoff quarterfinals finally here. We have the Cotton Bowl tonight. We've got Ohio State versus Miami, and Manny Navarro of The Athletic. He's going to join us in a few minutes. Did an interview with him earlier this week, looking ahead to this game. Manny covers University of Miami athletics like nobody's business. This is a fascinating matchup for myriad reasons. I mean, it would be fascinating regardless, but considering the history between these two programs and the different paths they've taken since they played in the 2002 BCS Championship Game, a game Ohio State won in overtime thanks to a controversial pass interference penalty that extended things. It's just absolutely fascinating, the different paths they've taken. Ohio State's gone on to win 2 more championships since that night. Miami hasn't even won a conference title. It's only played for 1 ACC title since it joined the league 21 years or so ago. So it's fascinating how they've taken these different paths, especially considering the success that Miami had up until that point. Miami, team of the 80s, success during the 90s, even though they had that lull and they had come back and put together just that crazy good roster. Ugh. And then just coach after coach, just nobody really sticking, getting things back to that level they had under Howard Schnellenberger, under Jimmy Johnson, under Dennis Erickson, and even Butch Davis put together didn't really get up to that standard. Meanwhile, Ohio State consistent over the years, especially when they pivoted from John Cooper after he failed to beat Michigan year after year after year, and went to Jim Tressel, the Ohio native, Youngstown State coach, longtime Youngstown State coach. He got them back into prominence, won a national title, Maurice Clarett at running back. And the Buckeyes have been pretty level since. They had Tattoo Gate that derailed that, but it didn't take long to get back on track. When Urban Meyer came, what did he do? He won the first ever college football playoff. And then he steps away. Ryan Day comes in, takes Ryan Day a minute, takes him a minute, but then he wins a national title. So it's just fascinating how the fortunes of these programs have gone in opposite directions since then. But here they are. None of that matters now. Absolutely none of that matters now. And we could be looking at a classic game. I truly believe that, because you're looking at 2 of the best offensive lines and defensive lines in the country. And anytime you have that, it sets up for a rock fight. You know what I'm saying? Granted, Ohio State has more weapons. And granted, Carson Beck, quarterback at Miami, isn't great under pressure. This still sets up to be a rock fight. It's just incredible because Ohio State lost 14 players to the draft, won a national title, lost 14 players to the draft, and might actually be better. That's impressive. And it was impressive last year when they lost to Michigan again and then rebounded to win the national title. It said a lot about Ryan Day and his ability to gather the troops, to focus, and to move forward. It was just really impressive. Can they do it again? They had the loss to Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. They've had a couple weeks to get themselves together. How's that going to work out? Excuse me. We'll find out. Miami's got to be aggressive. I mean, Miami, I really, truly believe Miami has a shot in this game, but they've got to play a perfect game. They've got to play a clean game, first of all. No penalties, or limit your penalties. No turnovers. And they've got to win first down, particularly on defense. Win first down, then pin their ears back on the downs after that. Let Ruben Baines and those guys cook and get after Julian Sayin, because Ohio State has so many weapons that you can't let them have their entire playbook at their disposal. You've got to win first down, try your best to make Ohio State at least somewhat one-dimensional, and then get at it. And if that happens, well, all bets are off. It could be really fascinating. And I mentioned Carson Beck. What does this do for him to have left Georgia, to go chase the girlfriend, to go chase the money, to create his own legacy in a different spot? It validates a lot. Just winning this one game will validate so much. It truly will. If they were to go on to win more and win a national title, man, what does it do? Mario Cristobal. What happens if they lose this game? I mean, they got in the playoff, but they didn't win the ACC championship, didn't even play for the ACC championship, even though they were the highest ranked ACC team. Don't get me started on that. He's been questioned for his play calling ability. He hasn't really produced the way they've been expecting him to produce in Coral Gables since he got the job a few years ago, even though he has all these resources and reinvigorated boosters and this, that, and the other. What does it do for him? What would a victory do for him, mean for him? Just a lot to ponder. And we're going to get primarily the Miami side of things in a few moments when Manny Navarro joins us, and just really look forward to this game. I'm excited for this, and I'm excited for the college football playoff in general. And looking forward to chat with Manny. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Golfers, IndyCar Tim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
Hey, folks, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center, a very different kind of approach to primary care. Personalized preventative medicine, not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. Christopher Lugo and his experienced medical staff are proactive in looking at issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Rather than the impersonal, rushed approach, you will be the only patient and will have our full attention. That's new. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. Bay Area Modern Medical Centers are experts in anti-aging regenerative medicine that optimizes your body's performance in many areas. So call for an appointment to get started on a journey back to full health and a happy life with a new, modern way of healthcare. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com.
Today's show is brought to you by Tomstown, a premier craft distillery based in Kansas City, Missouri. Discover their award-winning lineup, including double oaked bourbon, botanical gin, and double grain vodka, named the best craft vodka by the readers of USA Today. Available for online delivery in 40 states. Visit toms-town.com or their Kansas City distillery to explore more. Elevate your game with Tomstown, where history meets innovation. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hello, folks. Let's talk a little bit about turf life. What is turf life? It's pretty much if your life involves turf in any way, shape, or form, you live the turf life. Go ahead and brand yourself with the turf life. Maybe a back window decal, maybe a hat. You know where you can get those kinds of things to showcase that your life revolves around sports and or anything that involves sports. If it's a sports business or sports education or just your enjoyment of the outdoors, head over to turflifeclub.com. Become a turf head. Join the club today. You can do that by going to that said website that I just told you to go to. You can snag your window decal like I was talking about, or any of your other turf life accessories. Show everybody that you live the turf life, and we'll see you there over there at that turflifeclub.com.
Although it may seem tempting to go without healthcare insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505.
Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Joining us now, it's Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, big weekend for Miami. What was your biggest takeaway from Miami's win at Texas A&M?
Well, obviously that defense, we knew it was so much better than it was a year ago. Corey Heatherman's done a phenomenal job making them, a legitimate top 10, top 25 defense in a lot of categories. And I just thought that they came out and they played, like a top 3 defense. They elevated their game. I mean, that offense with Marcel Reed averaged 36 points a game. To hold them to 3, I know the wind was a factor in slowing down both offenses, but just could never get the running game going. They made them one-dimensional and just played a great game.
What does this do for Mario Cristobal? I mean, and one of the narratives, and again, you know the lay of the land down there better than anybody. One of the narratives going in was that Miami's biggest weakness on this stage was actually going to be its head coach. Do you think this validates him in any way, shape, or form?
It does. And, Mario's now 6-6 against ranked opponents at Miami. That's better record than a lot of other guys, right? James Franklin got fired for worse at Penn State. So, Mario's problem is that he loses games to teams he shouldn't. That's basically what it is. I chronicled it for The Athletic. 8 straight years of having a ranked team that he coaches lose to an unranked team. So it's not about can he get his team up for the big game. He can do that. He won on the road at Ohio State, at Oregon, at Miami. He's won some big games against ranked teams. So I just think it's more a knock of when they're not supposed to lose that they lose a ball game.
Yeah. And Carson Beck, does this validate him going to Miami, or will it take a championship to really validate him moving to Miami?
Well, I think this does validate Beck. I mean, certainly he came to Miami because he thought they could be a playoff team, right? And took a lot of money and led them to the playoffs. Look, there was a lot of disappointment between those 2 losses to Louisville and SMU, and he was a big part of it, 6 interceptions in those 2 games. But if you look at the rest of the body of work, he's done his job. And I thought the reason Miami won on Saturday in Aggieland was because Carson Beck didn't just play recklessly. He could have decided, hey, I'm going to fling the rock. It doesn't matter if there's 20-mile-per-hour winds out here. I'm going to take chances and just see what happens. That's what Marcel Reed did because they couldn't run the football. Carson Beck went to his coaches, told his offensive coordinator, Shannon Dawson, hey, man, it's hard to throw today. Let's just give Mark Fletcher the ball. And that's how Miami won the game because they listened to their quarterback.
Joined by Manny Navarro of The Athletic. Manny, just a couple more minutes. And we've got a long layoff now. I mean, we had a long layoff before we got those opening games. Now we've got another long layoff until the Cotton Bowl. You've got Ohio State coming up. What are going to be some points of emphasis during this time, and how do you imagine they'll allocate their practices? I assume they're not going to do a whole lot this week.
Well, you don't know Mario Cristobal. This is the guy who said cancel Christmas, right, when they made the playoffs. I assume that they will be allowed to go home, home being South Florida, to enjoy Christmas Eve dinner. And I assume they'll be able to open their presents under the tree on Christmas Day. And then I think they'll probably be told, hey, after you're having Christmas dinner with your family, why don't you come back in on the 26th and keep working? Because that's the way Mario operates. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was in the building on Christmas Day working.
What are going to be some points of emphasis, though, as far as what they need to tighten up against Ohio State? I mean, I'm sure you've already started looking ahead to how this matchup plays out. How do you see it?
Well, listen, Ohio State's wide receivers are the best in the country. Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, those are going to be 2 really tough guys to stop. And Miami's secondary really is effective in zone coverage. That's what they did to Marcel Reed. And getting pressure on the quarterback. And so it's going to be the same game plan I think it was against Texas A&M. You got to get to the quarterback. You got to create pressure. You got to get Julian Sayin to feel uncomfortable. And if you can't do that, it's going to be a long day because Jeremiah Smith is just going to go up and catch the ball over anybody you put on him. So it's going to be a tough contest. I think offensively, the biggest thing they need to work on is moving the chains. They only had 12 first downs against the Aggies, and that obviously was affected by the win and won't have any win inside the Cotton Bowl. So Carson Beck in that passing game have to get a little bit more on the same page and just drill and get it down. And, Mark Fletcher, the running game, those guys are starting to really come into their own. I thought Fletcher played it was a career game for him, but you look at the offensive line, they were phenomenal, especially in the middle. So that's going to be important, I think, against Ohio State. The one game they lost, Indiana didn't run all over them, but they ran effectively, and that allowed Fernando Mendoza to make some big throws.
I think what we really need to talk about might be, have you ever been kissed by Michael Irvin? That was wild, dude.
Yeah, Michael Irvin is he's the unofficial mascot, right? Miami's got Sebastian the Ibis. They've had him for a long time, 100 years, but Michael is he's a mascot all unto himself. I mean, he really is, and people don't understand. I interviewed Mike after the game about the kiss, about just being there. He feels it's a necessity to come support Mario Cristobal, and he felt it was a necessity to come support Al Golden and Mark Richt and Manny Diaz, and that's the pride that these guys have in the program. They need to be around it all the time. It's like a drug. They feel like this is the biggest part of their life, and I think. What you see on the sideline at Miami games, right? When players come back, it's not fake. It's very much real. It's very much a brotherhood. And I think they need to be there to support their guy. And this is the moment they've all been waiting 25 years in the making, man. Don't forget how much suffering Miami went through. So he may kiss a lot of people, but Michael Irvin means it when he gives a kiss. That's for sure.
All right, Manny, before I let you go, I need your Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies.
Oh, that's a good one. Die Hard's number one. It's definitely on there. That's one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies. It counts. It counts. Took place on Christmas. Gosh, Home Alone, I guess, would count as another Christmas movie, right? That's you always watch it around Christmas time. It's got a Christmas feel to it. Christmas Story is obviously a classic. That's got to be on there. That's three. I need one more. You got me.
You should know this. You got kids. You're not watching Christmas movies with your kids?
Well, you know what? Rudolph. I'm going to say Rudolph, the little animation movie. That one is something that every time it comes on, everybody in the family stops and watches. So that's got to be
a dentist. I want to be a dentist. Manny Navarro, The Athletic. Hey, brother, I appreciate you coming on, and I hope we chat again soon, man. Merry Christmas.
Same here. Merry Christmas to you, and hopefully we keep this thing rolling.
Really enjoyed our talk with Manny Navarro. Again, nobody covers the University of Miami like Manny. Manny does such a fantastic job. He's on top of breaking news. He has so much institutional knowledge regarding the Hurricanes and just a really neat perspective. I always enjoy my talks with Manny. Once more, there's just so much on the line for this game, and not just the national championship, just not the game itself, which is a big deal. I mean, it's a bowl game. It's a high-level bowl game that is now integrated into the playoff. But the directions of the programs, I mean, Ohio State is trending on it's skyrocketing on one track, and Miami is trying to get on that track, or is down here on that track and trying to move up on it. And really how we perceive Mario Cristobal, Carson Beck, Miami, and the ACC, all at stake here. All at stake here. The entire conference pinning all its hopes on the Hurricanes during the playoff. It's a one and done, especially if it's ugly. That's not going to be great for that league. And it's only going to push it further behind, perception-wise, at least, going into 2026. It's just, how they got to this point where the conference, the ACC, is so much farther behind competitively and financially than everybody else is mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing. And they hung their hats, or a lot of people depended upon Clemson A lot of people thought Florida State was back, especially after that season opening win over Alabama. False. SMU petered out, even though they had a fantastic year last year. And we're positioned for a good part of this year. Virginia looked good for most of this year, but, and won their bowl game. But did we really think that Virginia was that great of a team? They seemed to be, slipping and jiving and all this other stuff to get away with win after win after win. But I never at any point thought that Virginia was a playoff caliber team. Now, Miami, I did. Granted, I did think Miami was a playoff caliber team, but not having that conference championship or even an opportunity to play for that conference championship kind of skews things a little bit. I don't know. That's another topic for another day. Right now, we're going to focus on the playoff. I want to thank Manny Navarro of The Athletic for coming on. Be sure to follow him on X. Check out his content on The Athletic. And be sure to hit subscribe. Follow me on here. Check out the content. Send me some stuff at ScottH4456 at X, Twitter. Let me know what you'd like to see covered. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, complaints, or whatever. And let's enjoy the playoff. Until next time.